Well, welcome to this online revision session for AQA D1, in which we will be looking at the January 2010 question 5 on the topic of travelling salesperson. As you can see in this particular problem, we are given some information about a one-way system in Manchester, and the information is given in a two-way table or a matrix. You can see you've got from A going to B is 1.7 kilometres, whereas going from B to A is 3.1 kilometres. So we've got to be careful here to get the order and read the information out of the matrix correctly. Okay, well, in the first part of this question, it asks you to find the length of the tour BECDAB. And so you can see in your chart in the matrix that B to E is 3.7, E to C 1.9, C to D is 2.7, D to A is 2, and then finally A to B is 1.7. And so if we add these up, we end up with a total of 12 for the answer, or 12.0. kilometres. And obviously that will just give you 1 mark for stating that. In the next part of the question, it then asks you to find the length of the tour obtained by using the nearest neighbour algorithm starting from B. And so you must be careful with this part of the question to write down clearly the choices that you are making as you go along. So, starting from B, you can see the nearest neighbour to that is 1.8. So we would have B going to D. I'll give you 1.8, and then you've got, well, from D the nearest neighbour would be A, answer of 2, and from A the nearest neighbour would be not B, because we don't want to go back to B yet, it would be not D either, because we've been there, it would be C. And then from C, we would then go to E. And then from E, we would end up going back to B, which is 3.6. And then we've got to add that lot up. So we've got 0.8 and 0.9 is 1.7, 1.9, 2.5, carry 2, 2, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So the total distance of that tour would be equal to 13 kilometres. So we've demonstrated that we've used the correct method. We've got a tour that starts and finishes at B and visits all the other vertices, so that will give us another mark. And then we've got them all in the correct order, which will give us a mark. And then we've made a statement of the correct length of that tour, which will give us the 4th mark. In part C, it says write down which of your answers will be the better upper bound for the total distance. Well, remember, Mia is trying to minimise the distance, so it would be the minimum of those upper bounds. So the one that you would need to state would be the 12 kilometres. And that would just give you 1 mark. Then in part D, it says on a particular day the council decides to reverse the one-way system for this day. So everything is now in the opposite direction. So effectively what you've got to do is read this table backwards, that we're going to be going from this direction and going to this one. So when it said start from B, the shortest distance from B to begin with would now be A. So you'd now have B going to A, and that distance was 1.7. Then from A, you would then go to D with a distance of 2. And then from D, you would then go to E with a distance of 1.7. Then from E, the nearest neighbour would now be C with 4.2. And then finally from C, you would go back to B, which would be 2.5. And so now we've got to add those up to get the length of the tour that we've created, which would be 7, 14, 15, 16, 21, which give you 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the answer to this part would be a tour of 12.1 kilometres. And again, as in part B, there will be 4 marks there for demonstrating the correct method. Having B at the beginning and the end and all the vertices visited would give you a mark. Throwing them all in the correct order gives you a mark. And then to finish off with stating the correct value, the 12.1 kilometres, would give you a mark. Well, hopefully you found that solution helpful. For more assistance with your maths revision, please go to the Further Maths Support Programme website.